What's up, guys?
Sweet. Money
Howdy,
Monday.
howdy. Happy Money Monday, everybody.
Yeah.
How's everyone feeling?
Life is good. Life is good.
Good
Yes,
vibes,
sir.
good
Adrian,
vibes.
I'll be
What up,
back.
Adrian?
Okay, Adrian, we're waiting.
Adrian's keeping us posted. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're waiting on you.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching the replay, all four of us are live every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So set the little reminder, whatever you want to do, if you want to come pop in, and yeah, let us know
Those
what questions
shoes
you guys
are
got.
way
about
too
selling
nice
Amazon.
and way too clean to be on Miles's foot. He needs the old raggedy
That's
2020.
What shoes are you
We're-
talking about? Oh,
we're-
Adrian's?
We're
Yeah,
wearing
whatever he
things
has
that
in
aren't
his
returns.
profile. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're rich now. We're wearing non-returns.
Actually, dude, I was wearing a pair of Max's returns for a while. He sent me them for my birthday 2 years ago. He put me as the return address for a pair of. I don't even know if you can do that, but somehow it was either an Amazon mistake that they showed up because he had bought me a custom mug for my birthday, and then I got one of his returns. I don't even know if you can set
Interesting.
custom address here.
Yeah,
But
you can. I mean, you can change the removal address to whatever you want, but
They
it
would
shouldn't have
send
like
everything.
changed. Yeah, it shouldn't have like changed yours. That's really interesting.
Because there's companies that exist to handle returns.
Yeah.
So that's the only way that they would be able to. Miles is going to show up to one of our hangouts in Canes at some point. I know for a fact.
I guess that's one of the benefits of being a shoe seller is you can wear a lot of your returns.
that's
Oh
bad.
yeah. My whole family is always wearing the stuff that they call it going to the private shoe store.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'm hiring a VA to do online arbitrage, and I've ran into a VA that does product research and wants me to pay them per product. What do you think about them instead of them working 8 hours? So that is someone who is selling to lots of other Amazon sellers, which you probably don't want. You want to be looking for more of an employee than like a contractor, for example, right there.
Yeah, Basil. So any listing that's going to be consistently under like 2-3 sellers, especially if it's consistently one, is going to be an easy pass, right? It's going to be an easy private label product that we don't want to be taking part in. Granted, all the data could be fantastic. You could be buying this for $4, selling it for $19.70, making great margins. But the fact of the matter is, like, if it closes out your account, if you get in trouble for selling it, it's not that, it's worthless.
Yeah. Another class, I'm signing up here. Yeah, guys, we have a free class the first time ever on Thursday night. So Thursday night at 7 p.m. So it's not
out of my Tuesdays. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why Thursday instead of Wednesday this time?
Just schedule wise, it was what ended up working out.
Shaking it up. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
if you're usually busy on Wednesdays, come to the class.
Yeah. So good question here from Vanessa. So Vanessa says, is there a way to look at a product and see its return date or return rate? Sorry, I read that wrong. Not always. Sometimes products will have the frequently returned badge on Amazon.
It's not very accurate though. Yeah.
Yeah. Similar to like the 50 plus bought, 100 plus bought, 1K plus bought badges, as well too on those. Yeah. Yeah. But, not honestly, not super well, just kind of common sense about, the specific products. Yeah.
TJ said grabbing a new laptop, printer, getting bags and labels ordered today, opening my Amazon seller amp and Boxem accounts set up today as well. Nice, man. Looks like you're jumping in with both feet. I love it.
It's a busy
Right.
day.
So then, yeah, tomorrow you got to place that first order, get something going, get some products actually purchased. Sounds like a good setup for sure, though. I like it.
How do we know which brands really require 100 units for Ungating versus the ones that just say that, but I'll still take 10?
Yeah, I honestly have kind of changed my opinion on this. I think that you shouldn't worry about 100 unit ungates unless you have a ton of capital as a beginner. Just focus on auto ungates and focus on 10 plus, and 10 unit required ones, honestly, just because it's like really annoying when you might be applying for a few weeks for something and then still feel like in the back of your head, like, oh, it's because it's actually not 100 right there. So yeah, I would recommend just focusing on auto ungates and 10 unit ungates right there. Yes, sir. TJ. Yeah, TJ, tune in the free class too. Right there too. But yeah, literally laptop printer, getting bags, labels ordered. That's what I'm talking about. I just signed up for Boxing. It's amazing. FINS work, guys. Yeah, so we have 2 new features in Boxing 2 as of today. I'm gonna pop up and show you guys here as well. But yeah, Boxing's really, really getting good. I encourage you guys, try it out. 2 weeks completely free. You can see how everything looks to you right there. But as of today, I believe it might have been Friday, but regardless, you can now see the profit tile in your shipping, so and your shipments, so you know how much profit, ROI, margin, units, etc. that you're making for
So you
that
can
shipment.
flex that shipment on social media.
That's what that means. Yeah, that's what that means there. And you can also do scan and pack too, as well. So StreamYard updated their UI here, but I will be.
Yeah, scan and pack is definitely it's a big time saver depending on how you guys prep your shipments.
Yeah. So for example, now within the shipment, you can see the exact breakdown of your specific product just on a little drop down right there. And then we also have the scan and pack here. So literally you can connect a Bluetooth scanner and scan the products as you're putting them in there, and print them and use immediately upon scan, which takes me big time back to the bookseller days, but also is applicable for
Miles's scanners are two-handed apparently. Did you guys see that?
Oh no, I said like
My
this.
boy was going.
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was dual wielding.
Yeah,
akimbo scanners.
yeah, you hold the product in. But yeah, so that's good stuff too. As well.
Somebody just asked, let's see, Corey, why wasn't industrial and scientific in your top 10 categories for wholesale videos? So that was the video I put out yesterday. So the reason that wasn't it, I mean, honestly, those categories are just personal preference. I usually, when I think about industrial and scientific, in my mind, I kind of lump that in with tools and automotive. So I didn't include it specifically in that video, but it's a great category. There's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, the fact of the matter is there's going to be a lot of products that are misplaced anyways, right? So
yeah, and every category works. That's kind of the feedback I tried to give some people in the comments there is my opinion is kind of irrelevant. It's just been my experience. And you might find that my least favorite category is your best category. It really just depends.
Yeah, that's the nice thing though, is there's good sales rank stuff everywhere.
Yeah, every category works.
It's fun too,
especially when you're talking about wholesale, right? Your competitive advantage is your pricing and in your relationship, right? Regardless of even like the velocity, you could be selling products that sell 50 times a month, 100 times a month. But if you're making 25, 30% margin, well, there's an argument to be said that product is way better than products that sell 1,000 times. It all depends on how much money you're making per product and realistically per account. And that's how you really should be kind of conceptualizing your wholesale businesses. Every account should have a P&L of its own. Right. And that's going to allow you to audit your wholesale catalog, wholesale business on a month-to-month basis, right? To understand what suppliers are really doing well for you, what suppliers are not, and how the profit percentages vary supplier to supplier, right? Yep. So maybe one account is bringing back 25% margin, but you've only spent a couple hours going through their catalog, or you haven't really given that a sales rep a lot of attention and the attention that they deserve. So doing that P&L on a product, on a category or a supplier to supplier basis is really going to kind of give you a pulse in terms of how your sales reps really benefiting you and how those accounts really benefiting you.
Yeah, Discord link soon too. You guys got them today. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description to the free Discord here. And if you sign up for the free class, you'll get it too. As well. Let's see, we got to do a little rapid fire around here.
Would you guys recommend using Smart Scout to find brands? So yeah, I mean, Keep a Product Finder works just as well. It just doesn't have like revenue filters, but Smart Scout, if you have an extra $100 to burn every month, it's going to save you time. But Keep a Product Finder is going to work just as well for qualifying brands.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Save yourself $100 or whatever it is.
Yeah. How do you do reimbursements here? Yeah. So when you check your shipments page and box them, you can see if different shipments are empty or not empty necessarily, but that they lost some items. Don't pay a third-party service. There's no real need to. Honestly, you can just basically just go and submit the documentation once it's closed there. We got to do a little rapid fire.
Yeah, Dito had a good one. They were saying that most of the products they find are profit between like $1 or $2. And I feel like that's probably a lot of people. So when you're finding stuff where it's like almost there, that's like, those are the best types of products, right? Because you can almost always find one way to make that $1 to $2 profit into that 30% ROI, whatever you're looking for, right? So there's a free list you can go to, just a bunch of discount methods, basically. So coupons, discounted gift cards, cash back, all that kind of stuff. And you can turn that $1 to $2 into an actual profitable item, right? That's kind of the key, is you're making that margin rather than just like trying to find it.
Yeah. Let's see. Why do some FBM sellers price so much higher than buy box? Honestly, some people will just list like an entire store's catalog, or some people are drop shipping and stuff on there. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people on the FBM side, like they'll have thousands of active FBM listings. And a lot of times it's on listings that Amazon is also selling on. And they're just waiting for Amazon to go out of stock for like a couple of minutes or like a couple of hours. And when Amazon goes out of stock, then a lot of times they'll make sales at those really high prices. It's like a super niche drop shipping strategy. I wouldn't recommend it. I think.
And then there's going to be like the self-conscious OA sellers that want to hide their 5 good products, so they load their store with like 200 FBA over.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Yeah, that makes sense.
What I see that does do really well for beginners is figuring out what your local Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Dollar Tree, etc. has in stock of SKUs that move well, and then just doing the list buy later strategy. It's not for everyone. And for example, you can have to cancel some orders occasionally right there, but that's something that does work really well for folks too. 10 units volume. Not total. I mean, some technically have no like unit requirements, but they're definitely not going to want you as a client right there. If you can only send 10 units, my favorite YouTubers always look forward. Appreciate you right here.
Appreciate you, Charlie.
And like, even, I mean, FBA doesn't really make a ton of sense from an efficiency and just cost basis perspective when you're only sending 5-10 units at a time, right? You want to be sending, 15, 20 units per ASIN at least, just to kind of maximize the benefits of FBA.
Boom, boom. Any tips on sending products, how to pack the products, etc.? Yeah, good question, Soccer Nerd. So when you're creating the boxes in Boxum, 1 box is almost always cheaper than 2, right? Vast majority of the time just makes sense. It's easier for them to move around 1 than it is 2, right up to 50 pounds right there. One thing I really like a new Boxum feature is the custom labels. So like this side up, fragile, sold as a set, suffocation warning, custom ones you can make. All within the print section of Boxum, just in the FBA shipments right now. On step 2, we are going to add a separate print section just because a lot of people are using that for like FBM orders too, as well. But just make sure you're following Amazon's rules right there, and it's gonna be a seamless process.
The only like real mistake I see people make on shipping is if you have a multi-pack, just send the things how you want the customers to get it, right? Don't assume Amazon's. I remember I definitely thought that. I probably sent a shipment or something like that with like a 12-pack. You send ones, that kind of thing. They're not going to make the multi-pack for you. So just send whatever you want the customer to receive, basically.
Boom, boom, boom.
How do I find target brands first, then distros for them, or should I find distribution? Oh, so that's, a fantastic question. And always start with the brand, right? Because the benefit is if you start with the brand and you get the yes, then that's probably going to be the best pricing that you're going to find on the market. But the good thing is, right, going brand direct and indexing on that brand, you're still going to kind of backdoor your way into a whole lot of distribution accounts by just simply asking, right? And not to oversimplify it, but anytime that person you're talking to, that sales rep you're talking to, probably has a list somewhere of all the 5, 10, 15 authorized distributors that they can refer people to or that they use, right? And so that's always kind of like the follow-up question when you get a hard no from a brand specifically. And the other thing is it's inherently auditing and filtering the accounts that you're reaching out to, right? When you're Googling just random distribution companies, it can be difficult to see which ones are legit, to see which ones are going to have what brand, see which ones have good pricing. But when you're starting with the brand and using that as an adjacency to get to distribution accounts, they're going to be authentic products. It's probably going to be 1 tier below the brand. And then finally, the invoicing and the supply chain verification from an Amazon perspective is going to probably be pretty fluid.
Yeah, I like to target the brands first and then just ask the brands who their distributors are. A lot of times it is that simple. A lot of times.
And it's just like reverse sourcing, right? From an OA perspective, you start with a product that has good data other than pricing, and you just map that back to 4 or 5 different OA sites. From a wholesale perspective, it works the same way, right? If you identify 20 different brands that have good general sales ranks, that have good products that you want to sell, you can identify what brand those products come from, reach out to the brand and open an account with them. And the cool thing is that'll probably open up other product opportunities that you didn't necessarily even find off the bat.
All right, so appreciate this, Vanessa. I'm on my first week since my first shipment is live. Just hit 50 products sold. W's
That's
in
a
chat.
good first month. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
awesome.
Vanessa, that's what's up. More brands starting to auto Ungate. That's a huge thing. Is once you get, I'd even say typically more than that. But hey, if you're seeing more and more brands auto Ungate, excellent, right on that. But even like 2K in sales, right, getting that going too. That's fire. Just send in my 6 shipment with Boxum. It makes it so easy right there. Cool. Yeah, too. Also, just in general. So for those of you guys who are, using Boxum pretty frequently, if you guys have any product recommendations or anything like that, or you want to, work closely with us in terms of improving the product or anything, let us know too. We've had a good group of core Boxum users that have been helping out with some of that stuff and everything. But yeah, glad you're liking it, Vanessa. And you know, we're going to continue adding to it. Like we got some really exciting stuff coming soon too.
No spoilers. Come on. Someone wanted to slip out there.
But like, for example, like if you watch the YouTube video, you know, I posted on the Boxum channel yesterday, there's an Easter egg in there and everything, right?
Jake had a good question here. So he's talking about in terms of OA, how many different products do you need to have before you start selling? One. Yeah, one, Jake. So that's just anything in general. Don't feel like you have to have everything solved before you just start taking action, right? Because you're only going to solve it with action. So in your case, yeah, get that first product listed ASAP. Even better if you can toss it FBM. Let's see. Win the Day said, Corey, your 8-hour video is the best video on YouTube. That's high praise.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that. Yeah.
If you guys are wanting to get into wholesale, Corey's got an awesome free course for you on YouTube.
Yeah, thanks for that. I've got another. So if you like that one, I've got a brand direct specific one coming out, I think next weekend. It's going to be in like the 3 to 4 hour range as well. So think about like the 8-hour course, but specific to brand direct. So I think you'll like that one too.
Gangster right there. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be solid.
That sounds good right there. Sweet. Cool. So yeah, keep the questions coming, guys. Remember, we have a special free class this Thursday night. It's the first time we've ever had one on a Thursday night too, as well. So it's literally just go.thefbaroadmap.com/register here. Okay. So DH says, trying to ship my first FBA product through box. I'm having issues with the F and SKU label showing the ASIN instead of the SKU number.
You're probably commingled. You're messaging me, DH. So just hit support. They can help you out.
Yeah. We have an awesome support team at Boxing too, as well. Big shout out to Papa Wi-Fi astronaut for and the team and everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a couple of good questions we missed when people were flying too. So Clutch was asking what's the best way to get funding. So if you're brand new, then the best way is just using what you got, kind of learning the ropes, that kind of thing. The only thing that getting outside money is going to do is amplify what you're already doing, right?
Right.
So if you're a new seller who's going to make new seller mistakes, you're going to amplify those mistakes. If you've been selling for several months, a year plus, you know what you're doing, you know exactly what you would buy with more money, then you can start to look at like the loan offers Amazon might give you through your account. You can, leverage stuff like MX Plum, where you get a little bit longer payback period if you want to be a little riskier with it. Like there are options, but don't worry about funding if you are not very consistently running good margins. And you
always
kind of know
on
what you
the shoulder of your rich uncle too.
Well, and I like the way that you bring that up, that more funding is just going to amplify like the good things that you do and the bad things that you do. And that's why I think a lot of times people that start out with maybe just like a minimal amount of capital or maybe not a ton, a lot of times those people end up doing a lot better than the people that start off with like 10.
Yeah, you got to learn how to like be careful with it. Yeah, you got to every dollar matters, and that like getting used to that mindset goes with scale.
They'll stretch it way farther and they'll end up being way more responsible with their sourcing.
Boom. Okay. Unnoted says, I want to start an FBA account, but my brother already made an account 2 years ago, was deactivated for inauthentic products. Can I start my own storefront? I would be working alone. As long as it's on a unique address, and like I'd probably avoid the Wi-Fi at the crib too, potentially, if you guys still live together, honestly. But I guess if you're starting Amazon, you're probably 18 plus. So yeah, I mean, you kind of got to figure out the logistics of that. Specifically there,
they don't ban your whole last name though, but if it is the same house, you got problems.
Yeah,
they ban you and your entire lineage. Like,
yeah. Any advice for the ones who struggle with sourcing? So Garrett, you've given this advice in the past that I think is really good advice. It's like every time you buy something, like record a quick video of yourself talking about in that moment why you bought that product, like why you made that decision. And then once the product checks in, maybe a couple of weeks later, go back and review that video and see if the reasons that you bought the product for, see if that's actually how it turned out. And if it didn't turn out that way, then, course correct and figure out what you did wrong and figure out what you need to do to not make that mistake.
What you didn't notice, what you overlooked, what factor was probably leading to why it went poorly. And it's just simple as like a Google sheet, right? Every line item is a new buy. Your price point, your expected selling price point, how many you expect to sell in the first 30 days, 4 or 5 columns of data, and then 2 minutes quick blurb in the next sell over that says, why do I buy it? Any hesitations, any potential risks, anything that is top of mind. And then it'll give you a good reference point as like a post-mortem a couple months down the line.
Yes, sir. 425 and it says, when I register my LLC, do I get a resale tax ID? I'm wondering if when I apply to, it's tough because some states use different wording and we're also not lawyers. So, for example, you're probably talking like a reseller certificate. right there, which I don't think in any states
It
automatically.
wouldn't just come with it by default.
You've got to
yeah.
apply. Yeah, you've got to apply for one with your state Department of Revenue. So depending on what state you're in, you'll just, once you have your LLC set up and your EIN, you'll go and apply with your state for what's called a sales and use tax number. And that's the same. It means the same thing as like your resale permit number, your resale certificate.
There'll be a cool CPA in your state with a YouTube video. Just like, toss it into YouTube, you'll find it.
That is completely true, especially true for Florida. Yeah.
And if there's not, then then make it and charge whatever CPA in your state wants some traffic, something like that. Get you a little side hustle going.
How much software should I set aside for software? So we're looking at what, $20 for Keepa, another what, $50 for SellerAmp, Boxum is another what, 50.
It's 90 total. Yeah, SellerAmp 20, Keepa 20, Boxum 50, and you're good to go. Yeah, damn. But oh shit, all right. So you got about 7,500 or 7,910.
I almost like don't spend all of that right away either, right?
Not even
like
close.
go through a sales cycle or two of a product, because if you spend all of it, like we're talking about, you're going to make some mistakes, right? So make the mistakes with smaller numbers, and then once you learn, dump the rest of the money in.
Where's the best place to link up with other new sellers? Twitter,
question,
Instagram, wherever people are talking about this stuff, YouTube and comments, right? In the comments here, there's a bunch of people. But yeah, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're kind of hanging out.
Don't be anonymous, UT. Don't be anonymous as well. Like that's a big thing, right? Is people connect with people, right? And everything. So if you're serious about meeting folks and everything, it's going to be significantly easier if you're not anonymous right there. And if you're out there and everything and, posting videos, especially too, and all that, which is up to you, obviously right there. But that does tend to be the big differentiating factor.
Miles, I meant to ask you, how's the 0 to hero doing? You've kicked
okay.
off, right?
So you haven't started yet. I have the guy. I've announced the guy.
So it's one guy.
Start tomorrow. Yeah, probably. And so we're gonna have basically for the duration of the challenge, like there's a free course that goes along with it, and I assume probably a couple hundred people will take will do the challenge with him basically. So there's gonna be like a special like community too and everything.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I got this awesome guy, Ryan, who's from New Jersey, recently graduated college. And he's the
swimmer, right?
Yep. Definitely not. Yeah. You can just
definitely not
money right there. Opinions on using a repricer. Yeah, I mean, definitely when you have like 10 plus ASINs, which it sounds like you do, Vanessa, you should totally test them out. There's a bunch of good ones. Honestly, there's a bunch of good ones. There's a bunch of free trials you should take a look at and just figure out, which one you vibe with the most here.
Yeah, I mean, while you're testing repricers, free trials, you'll be 2 months down the line, and then you'll definitely be able to afford the one you like the most.
I mean, the cool thing is any good repricer is going to pretty much pay for itself. Right. But the important thing to know, especially for newer sellers, is that a repricer is going to really maximize and squeeze everything out of a good product, but it's not going to fix a bad one. Right. So it's really going to highlight good products in your catalog, but it's not going to fix bad buying. Right. So it's still, you have to do all your qualifications. You have to buy accurately. But when doing that, it's going to make everything super powered.
Yep. What up, Gold? You're doing 20, 30K months. That's what's up. You have more than enough leads and you have a lot of free time. So you need more money then if you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about a little bit, you can look at like, a Plum, see if Amazon's loaning you some money, that kind of thing. Just make sure you're very confident in what you would buy with it. Cause obviously when it's your money, worst case, it's back to zero. You don't want to end up back to negative if something goes wrong. So just
how do you avoid having your product tank by the time it gets processed through it? By making your sourcing a little bit more complex, right? And Miles does a really good job kind of explaining this in his content, right? The more levers you can pull with sourcing and buying and kind of manipulating that price, the more stable your product likely will become. Right. And so what I mean by that is, okay, there's probably a 10% coupon that you could find for most OA sites, but we start there, right? And then maybe we tap on a 5% discount gift card. Then we ship to a no sales tax state. Right. So now I'm pulling 3 different levers, and a $20 product now becomes $16.50 or $17, whereas everyone else is paying that original 10% off. And so that $1.50 or whatever may seem minuscule, but that is the moat. That is the competitive advantage that could keep you in business on that listing for another 2 months or 3 months, right? It gives you that upper hand when you're competing with other people that are paying full price, which you'd be surprised at, and paying the first tier of discounts.
Somebody said, I found products that are out of stock on Amazon. Is it worth purchasing the products, or could there be a reason nobody is on it? So yeah, I've sold on plenty of listings that were out of stock at the time of like by the time I found the product. So yeah, a lot of times people just sell out and they can't source anymore. And if you can bring that listing back online, then a lot of times those can be really good opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. You just see the historical data on it right there. Okay. So I'm about to go do my best 2015 Steph Curry imitation on the court right there.
No, it's going to be a 2024 Bronny James.
Right there. And y'all have a great day. Appreciate you guys tuning in here and everything. And check out, I posted a really good video on AI auto ungate sourcing today, which you guys should totally check out as well. There's a lot of game in there. And y'all have a great day. See you soon.
See you guys.
You guys.